everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with another retirement card. That's right, I've got another person in my department that is retiring. So what does our card look like for today? This is the card that we will be making. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay, everybody, so let's bring up the supplies so we can get started on our card. Now, as I said in the beginning of the intro of the video, this is going to be a card that is all about layering. And real simple, you don't have to have a silhouette to do this. We're not going to be using, well, I use a silhouette for some portion of it, and it was for my print and cut, but you don't have to do that. You can use your paper trimmer and whatever else you like. So my card measures 5 by 7. So you're going to cut your card stock 10 inches by 7 inches, and I've already added my inside sentiment, and that's where I use a silhouette and I use the print and cut. But as I said, you can print this out on your printer and then just cut it using your measurements. So my inside sentiment piece of paper measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So we're going to put the card aside for just a moment so we can start doing our layering. So now, for the layering, I am going to go ahead and put this piece on now, because we're going to add our embellishment before we put this on the card. So now, this piece right here, and I'm also using nothing but scraps of paper that I had left over from previous cards. So your piece right here measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then this layer here, and I'm using the Paper Studio Stone Wash Pack. I didn't cut this at all. I'm using the whole piece, and it measures 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. So you don't even have to cut this. You could just, if you're using a paper pack like this, you could just go ahead and just pull it out and lay it on top. So let's get some tape on here, and I'm just going to use my Tombow since this is paper. It's not a cardstock, and lay this on top of here like so. And I like that Paper Studio pack because it works out great when you have to do a mail card, or if you want to do a mail scrapbook, which I don't do too much scrapbooking because I've said before I don't make scrapbooks because I don't take a lot of pictures. So mine scrapbooks end up being picture books. When I say picture books, they're more embellishments. So you can call it an embellishment book. So now, before we put this on, we are going to layer the embellishment that I want to put on here. So I have these word bands, and the one I'm using says, "Live the life you've imagined." And if I didn't say before, this is a retirement card. And these are by Tim Holtz, and I apologize for that glare. They come in a pack like this, and they have different, each one is different. And I picked it up at Joann's using a coupon. So I want this to sit right here in the center, and then I'm going to have this wrap around. So to do this, I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue on the back of this cording, and this is just some twine. And I'm going to line it, and I might be off camera for just a second because I need to make sure I get this in the center of where I want it. So, and I'm going to have to put glue. Hopefully this is going to stay on here because this is metal. We're going to have to put some glue on the other side of here as well, just so I can make it stay. So I could have used a pop dot too. And then what I want to do is send this around here and then tie a bow on this side. So to send this around, I'm going to put a thin layer of glue right along here. Just a real thin layer. And then I'm going to lay that down. And you can just run your finger along there to get rid of any glue residue you have. So that looks about right. Then I'm going to come around and do the same thing. Just a thin layer of glue along here on the back. And I'm going to start part way because I don't want it to dry before I can get it laid down. And then I'll add another layer, really thin, and lay that down. And you don't have to worry about getting any glue up that's sticking out because this is going to go on your card. And then, see, we got it going all the way around. And then I'm going to tie a bow. And I'm going to try to do this on camera. I may have to do this bow later because I'm not very good at tying bows. That's why I have a bow maker to get it to tie the bow for me, or create the bow for me. So what I may do is just stick a little dot of glue right there just to hold that down. And then another layer right here to hold that piece down. And I actually have these things that came with my rubber mat. Here's one that you can use so you don't burn your fingers. Okay, so I'm going to just tie that bow off camera. We're going to go ahead and finish doing the rest of the card. So let's go ahead and put our next layer on. So this piece measures 2.5 by 5.5, and this is another piece of scrap cardstock. And then I used my silhouette and did the print and cut, which you don't have to if you don't have a silhouette or if you don't have any die cutting machine. You can just go ahead and put this, send this to your printer, and then cut it out. It should be 2 3/8 by 5 3/8. And we're going to lay that on top of there. And I've also gone ahead and inked my edges using the Tim Holtz Distress ink. And this time I'm using the Faded Jeans. And I kind of like doing these theme cards for the people that retire in my department, because I kind of remind them of how much time that they've spent in our department. So this particular person has been there 27 years, which turns out to be 1,408 weeks, 862 days. He's worked at 3 locations, 1 department, several managers, dozens of job duties, 100 or so co-workers, and 1,000 of grumble, grumble, grumble. And that's kind of a joke between he and I. Every morning when he would come in, I would say, "Good morning, Ed," and he'd go, "Oh, grumble, 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 grumble." So I kind of wanted to throw that in there. And then the last line says, "And then happy retirement." So let's go ahead and put this on. And I'm going to use the Tombow with this as well, since this is paper. And we'll add that. And I think what I want to do with this is I'm going to pop this up. So let's get some foam dots on here. And we'll use these. They're kind of big. We can just put those on. And we'll put one in each corner and maybe one in the middle. And before we put that on, we're going to put this layer on because we don't want to not to be able to get the tape on the back of this piece. So with this one, I'm going to use my ATG gun because I'm using taping cardstock. So we're going to go across here. And we'll get some tape on the edge. And then on the edge of here. And then we'll add this. So this one was really simple, guys. It was just basically all about layering. Okay, so now I'm ready to add my top layer here. So we'll get our tape off the back. And we're going to move that real quick out the way. I'm going to kind of, you know, I was thinking I was going to put this in the center. Then I decided, no, I think I want to put it over here on the side. Just so I'm doing something a little different. Okay, I'm going to step off camera for a minute because I'm going to decide if I'm going to put this over here, or in the center. So I'm going to think about that, add a few more embellishments, and come back with the finished card and my envelope. Okay, everybody, so I'm back with the finished embellished card. So I've got my little banner up here at the top, and then I added some candies, and then I made my bow. Sorry about that. And then over here I've added some little tools, and the reason why I put those there is that I've always asked Ed what he's going to do when he retires, and he said probably finish fixing up my daughter's house. So that's why I've got a hammer and a screwdriver right there. And then he also said that he was going to take some more trips to Hawaii and the Bahamas and Jamaica, so I put this little shirt down here, embellishment, and then I added some candies along here on the side. For my envelope, I just used my We Are Memory Keeper envelope maker, or 123 punch board. Sorry about that. And this paper is from a paper pack that is by Me and My Big Ideas, and it doesn't look like it has a name, but I use this mostly to make my envelopes. And I went ahead and stamped out, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it says celebrate each day. And I have misplaced the plastic piece to my Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. I have torn up my craft room and I can't find it. I don't know if I accidentally threw it away. So I have some acrylic cardstock, I guess that's what you would call it, or vinyl, and I'm going to try and stamp with that and see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll have to go out and buy another Stamp-A-Ma-Jig, and I hate that because I only really need just a little plastic piece. I don't need the whole Stamp-A-Ma-Jig instrument to do the stamping. So that is it, everybody. Oh, I forgot, and on the back here I stamped best wishes, and like I said, you might not be able to see that on camera. So anyway, this is my retirement card that I've made for one of my co-workers that is retiring. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.